Okay, so I have three of my switches actually running over to the other wall, which I've designed out over here. I think I'll go with the iron blocks for these. I still might change my mind. You know how these things are. But I have the moss stone here, the sticky pistons. You can see some of the circuitry back there. I have the one sign that I have so far just for the crucible. And it's set up so that like what's the most on the right over here is the most on the right over here. So it's not mirrored, it's just like the same. Sort of like rotated or flipped. I don't know how you would explain it, but and then we have redstone lamps, and when the piston is open like this, these three haven't actually been wired up yet, so they're just defaulted to open. When the piston opens up, the redstone lamp behind the sign will light up, making it a little bit easier to read what it says on there, even though signs, they always glitch and go between like being like really bright white like that, if you got that, and just dark. But if I can, as long as I know like it's lining up, like if it's like, oh well, I pulled the second lever and then I turn around and oh, the second light is on, then I know that I picked the right spot. Put some torches just directly on the redstone lamps here, because that helped make these signs be really dark a lot less often. And the way that it's all wired up is if I head back around here, you can see what I've already mentioned before with all that circuitry going on there for the lights and the switches. It comes down here, and as you saw me wiring it before, every second one, it leads down here and goes along and boosts the signal again, then heads up around and into the back of a conduit. So it's just block, redstone torch, block, redstone torch, all the way up. These don't get their signals mixed based on things that are beside them. It's a nice compact way of getting the signal across. So I can translate something that's just 6 blocks all right beside each other, like I had at the beginning with these inverters, to things that are 6 blocks all right beside each other with the ending pistons and redstone lamps, which is fantastic. Every other one, which had to start with a repeater, it goes out a few more repeaters. That one's is a little bit less, just because of some signal mixing issues I had between the first set of 3 that I did. I did the 3 that didn't have the repeaters, and I was just doing that at first, but then this one got mixed up, so I decided to let it go out one further and then go down and twirl around, drop it and reverse it. I don't know, are those rap lyrics? I don't listen to much rap, as you can probably tell. I'm more of a death folk power metal type guy. Alright, but these ones, they come out further along, and then they do the same thing with the little flip around. And the middle one, or actually just the one on the side, comes out a little bit less. Mouse really just flipped all the way over there. I was having some issues with it earlier, but I decided not to really worry too much. I worried when I was like working over here, because there's lava right there. A creeper actually snuck up on me when I was working over here, and I luckily was able to just knock it back into the lava and killed it that way, so nothing was destroyed. But these two come out the same length, but then they twirl off in different directions, so there was no issues there. And this one just twirls off to the same side as the one beside it, so that's why it comes out a little bit less, because if this one came down there, then this circuit would start to connect down to what would be on a block here. So if I quickly head over to the second one and head along, you see that it comes along, goes through a repeater, and then there's blocks in the way, where normally if you see me do my circuitry, I I've got a runny nose, not sure why. But normally when you see me do circuitry, I'll just dig like a too high channel because mobs can't spawn on top of redstone dust. But the reason that it's only a one high channel is to prevent any signal mixing, because as you can see, if I destroy that block, immediately all three of these lines are connected. But when I put it back in place, none of them are connected to each other, which is exactly what I want. So of course they come along, they go through repeaters to boost the signal every, at max it's 15 redstone dust in between repeaters, otherwise you lose the signal because it dies out. We come up here, go into redstone repeaters to keep signals from getting mixed up, because obviously if this was redstone dust it would connect there. Oh god. Okay. I'm going to do this just because this is a lot of work that went into that. Okay. It's not cheating. It's avoiding having to redo a hell of a lot of work. That scared the crap out of me. And I have no idea how he made it down this channel. It's the mob AI is absolutely insane now, because creepers and skeletons and zombies that are spawning like up there and then also up there a bit, they're able to somehow catch my scent or whatever and then come all the way down and get into my circuits and sneak up on me. That's technically the second time that creeper snuck up on me. But the first one I was able to just knock it into lava. That time I wouldn't have been so lucky. So it goes into the conduit at the bottom there, which comes up here, and at this level it goes into the backs of the redstone lamps, which is why those are powered as well. So the redstone lamps are always doing the exact opposite of what the piston is doing. So when the piston's open, it's not getting powered, and it's open, then the lamps are turned on, and when the pistons are powered on and closing up that gap, and the redstone lamps turn off. But then we have these repeaters up here just to prevent signals from getting mixed up, and of course the conduit redstone torches do not talk to each other, not when they're on the same level. So that's how that all works out. So what I need to do is finish the making the little channels for the two that go out further, and also the one that comes out that's already like half finished. So I've got to make the channels for the last three, these ones over here, and have them all wired up, and then get to work on designing how I want the actual interior of the tunnel to look. And I will effectively start it out right here, and then start heading in that direction a little bit, and then show you what it looks like, and show you how everything is all. And well, you'll see how everything's wired up. I'm just going to be doing some more. It's pretty much just going to be more of the same. The only thing that'll have anything relatively different will just be how it goes into the conduit, just because I'll have to do some little sneaky things to avoid getting the signals messed up. But other than that, it's just going to be some straightforward redstone dust and redstone repeaters just to boost the signal, and then some little one high channels just to prevent signals getting mixed up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be back with a much nicer looking area, at least for what's right in front of here. And I'll also close up this side and get everything all nifty looking, and also hopefully close off where all those mobs are coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back with another update. So I got a bit carried away just a touch. I've finished wiring up all of these so they are connected properly. I started working on the station, and I'm gonna just point things out as I go along here. First of all, the tripwire here, when you hit it, is actually hooked up with redstone leading all the way from this side down around under here all the way into this redstone torch here, which is directly beneath the dispenser. So it controls the dispenser, which would pop out the minecart, but it's already there because I didn't really think too far ahead, and when I load the minecart and then try to leave the station, it clicks and it puts the minecart right back on the track anyway. But I guess it's just an easier way of getting the minecart onto the track in the proper position. What the? Oh, hell no. Kill you with a melon slice, bitch. Come on. And he's dead. Okay. And then ruining my subway station. The button here, it's wired up through this repeater, which I was hoping would stop it from connecting to the dispenser, but unfortunately it doesn't, so hitting the button also activates the dispenser. But it goes down through here, through an inverter. There's redstone torch just on the other side of this block. And, wait, no, I can actually, nope, can't jump over that. Never mind. Which goes through the inverter and then into another redstone torch, which is directly beneath the powered rail here. And some more circuitry type stuff before we move on. If I head down here first, I know it looks really rough, but it doesn't really matter. It's all hidden and nothing spawns in here. That skeleton spawned further up and walked his way in, which won't matter once everything's all sealed off. These lines obviously come from the levers with the redstone lamps over at the other side of the station. They all come around and then connect into the conduit, which goes up, and a few of the lights which shouldn't be activated are, just because I replaced some repeaters at the very top with just redstone dust, because it wouldn't really affect the circuit too much. I really don't want him there. Oh god. Alright, let's see if we can ninja this. Perfect. Ah, crap in a hat. Alright, he'll despawn eventually. I don't need to go back down there. God damn it. So anyway, as I was saying, I took out some of the repeaters that were here. Obviously where the redstone dust was repeaters, and because of that, where there's the redstone dust, it is causing the lights to go on. I'm gonna replace it just because it seems weird otherwise, even though for the most part you can't really see the lights that are lit up when there's the iron block in front of it. But I'll still know, and now you'll know, so I've really just got to change it. But anyway, the stop for the crucible is wired up. It goes all the way down here, and then a long ways away down that tunnel and through an inverter. The fact that it goes through an inverter is fairly important. I'll get to that in just a second. We just gotta hop our way out of here, make sure that creeper's not around. Don't see him. Keep hearing zombies. I don't like that, but the whole thing will be sealed off soon anyway, and nothing can spawn in here. And I made sure of that. Went with this design for the interior of the tunnel. It's powered rail, 5 normal rail, another powered rail, and it continues on like that. And where it's powered rail, I have the little netherrack torches and a little stair block at the top, nether brick line down the center, and stone bricks in the center along the sides. Stone slabs just on the either side of the rail just to make it look nicer, and also because mobs can't spawn on half slabs, can't spawn on fire, can't spawn on stairs, can't spawn where it's too light, can't spawn on rails. The only spots where they could spawn would be on top of this block and the one on the other side, but that would only be if like all the fires were extinguished, which isn't going to happen. And the pattern for the 5 normal rails is just regular block, stair, half slab with a regular block behind it, stair, regular block, just to give it a little bit of class. As you can see, light for the crucible is on. I put an ender chest there. I'm gonna have an ender chest at every station because they actually aren't that hard to get a hold of. Because I can just like walk way out into the desert and wait for endermen to spawn and take them on with a diamond sword, even though I don't have one at the moment. But as you can see, iron blocks out of the way. We can see that it is the crucible, which is the stop that's selected. So we hop in the minecart, press the button, and go a long ways down. You probably noticed that on the right side there was a bit of netherrack exposed. That's because that leads to part of the circuitry and also a bit of a strip mine. So here we are at the stop. That ladder doesn't go all the way up yet, but it will lead up to the crucible. It's just a straight shot up, not into the center of the crucible, but just sort of like near it, so I can make a little house or something. Crafting table there just because I needed to make the ladders. And as you can see, there is a moss stone block with a button on it, and that button is the start point for this stop. So if I press that, cart starts going again, and then stops because the track stops. But the way that's hooked up is it runs down through an inverter into a redstone torch, which is underneath this piece of powered rail, but there is also another redstone torch which is underneath this piece of powered rail, which is kept in a off state by the signal coming all the way from the main station that came off the other side of where the piston was. So that means that when you choose the stop, the powered rail at that stop, these two bits here, get turned off. So that's how you end up stopping at the stop. And then if you didn't actually want that stop, or there were multiple stops selected, you can stay in the cart, press the button, and you will continue heading along down the track. Which it's finished on this side for a bit of a ways, but not on this side yet. Just because of resource, or not so much resource issues, just laziness really, and also like forgot about that. So hop over, push, and hop. Ah, no. Okay, I've got to run all the way back down. It doesn't matter, I've got tons of hunger anyway. But of course, this isn't the way that the track's supposed to be going. It is just the one direction. even though it would be fully capable of working in either direction. I just prefer to have it go in